breakfast by Salt's-Cure. We are testing out their pancakes as seen on Worth It. Ben got the OG, I got the banana nut, and Lynn got the Pink Lady apple. What they're famous for is the fact that everything's kind of infused in their pancakes, so you don't actually need any syrup or anything to go with it. So we'll just go ahead and put the butter on.
You do not need any syrup.
Super soft. And so here we go, banana nut.
That's so good, right?
Yeah, it's good stuff. So banana-y. I don't even know what's up. The banana flavor really comes through. It's so crazy. And the walnuts and coconut just give like a nice texture to it.
Dude, that's so good. It's amazing. Finish your pancakes so we can just flip. I literally just scarfed mine down. It was so good. That was amazing.
Alright, well, I'll be right back after I get the next pancake going here. Alright, and now I'm going to try the OG, the original.
With toasted cinnamon butter.
Yeah, with toasted cinnamon butter. Oh, man. Yeah, I like this way better than the banana nut.
The banana nut's really good too.
Yeah, wow, that's super nice. The texture with the bite on this OG is better, and the sweetness is like very flavorful. Yeah, that's amazing. All right, there's just one more left, so be back in a second. All right, and there we are with the Pink Lady apple. You can clearly see the apple bits in here.
OG, like, I have this first. OG's still number one. This is number two. Like, this is amazing. Like, I thought mine was going to be next after I tried it the first time.
You know, the apple flavor is subtle in this, but the sweetness is really nice.
This is definitely there. Because they put spiced brown sugar on top of it. Like that's where the sweetness is, and it's so subtle that it doesn't hit you in the face.
But it's kind of the first time that I've had pancakes without syrup. So that crunch, the texture of these pancakes is just so amazing, and the flavor just really comes through. But what we do from here is kind of a toss-up. So see you in a moment here. All right, and here we are back at the La Brea Tar Pits now, and we're just checking out the museum. They have a really cool exhibit here, I guess you could say. All the fossils and everything from like the difference between these different mammoths, as well as all the fossils of the mammoths, and then what they thought it looked like, all the different animals that they thought they saw. And it was fairly interesting. For 15 bucks, I feel that you get your money's worth at least once, right? You should do it at least once. I'm standing in the atrium, which you could walk through. It has a lot of nice plants. It has a cool breeze up here. I think you'd see it from the outside too. I think we'll try doing that in a moment. One really interesting exhibit was this like tar pit, or this chunk of tar pit, I should say, or chunk of tar, and how packed it was with fossils. And I mean, there's just so many different interesting things. There was also like this direwolf wall, who they've gone extinct, and they show all the bones and how they've kind of changed throughout time as they evolved. And they theorize that the direwolves came down to the tar pits to try to eat the animals that were in the tar pits, and then got caught themselves and ended up dying. So that was really neat. Oh, and another really crazy thing, the American lion. I didn't know we had that type of lion here, so that was really, really interesting to see. Yeah, we'll probably check back at our next meal spot here. We'll be coming up on lunch in a little while, so until then. All right, and now we're at SLAB BBQ. We got 2 combos, one with brisket and pulled pork, the other with Tony's ribs and brisket. We also got potato salad, collard greens, baked beans, and Frito pie. On the side, we ordered a hot link. So let me go ahead and try the pulled pork without any sauce on it first. It's good, definitely good. Try it with a little bit of barbecue sauce on it there. This is the regular barbecue sauce, not the hot one. Yep, that's super nice.
Try the spicy?
Just the regular. Try it with the spicy now.
Frito pie cookie. Frito pie is what 7-Eleven nachos usually taste like.
Yep, still good. A little hotter. The hot one's a little saltier, I think. And then let me get some of the brisket going here.
Brisket just falls apart.
Yeah, it does. That's great. So let's get a little bit of the barbecue sauce on that bad boy. Right there. Alright.
Yeah, solid.
Overall, good barbecue. Potato salad. Pretty average.
I just think I'm not a fan of collard greens. It tastes like spinach with some seaweed, which is not good.
Next, we're going to go with the collard greens. I just love that flavor.
A bit too much for me. Got Frito pie.
I could really taste the bacon in there.
Is that bacon? For some reason, I thought that there's salted dog egg or something like that.
Now the baked beans.
The baked beans taste like they have 5 spices in it.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's very different. Like, yeah, like Lynn said, it tastes like it has like 5 spice or star anise in it.
That's good though.
It's different.
Then the Frito pie.
The 7-Eleven nachos used to taste
Yeah,
like.
it's so great.
Can't go wrong with it.
Thank you. Lastly, we got the hot link.
Solid.
Oh yeah. I like the kick. It comes in late.
Yep.
But it's really good. I think with the barbecue sauce just completes it out. Really solid food.
Don't forget the ribs.
Yeah. Lynn's cutting up the ribs right now. Alright, now Tony's ribs. Losing it here. The char on that's so nice. The barbecue flavor really comes through.
This piece is what's throwing me off.
Yeah,
It's like
solid food. Anyhow,
that end.
we're gonna go ahead and finish up here and then
Alright, Ben.
try to figure out what to do next. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment. Well, we're checking back in now, and I am currently in quarantine in Korea, and noticed as I was editing this video that I don't have an ending for it, or like kind of explanations of where we went next. From SLAB BBQ, we actually went a few doors down, I believe it was. We just randomly went into this place. I just saw it as we're coming to the barbecue joint, to Uli's Gelato, where we got a couple of things of gelato. It's been so long now, I don't even remember the flavors, and unfortunately, it was just a real short stop there. Right after we went there, though, we went back to the hotel so I could continue working. We tried to decide what to do for dinner this night, and this is probably arguably one of the best barbecues that we had for Korean barbecue. If not ever, but like, particularly while we're on this trip. I'm kind of wondering, being that I am in Korea right now, I do expect to get some pretty good Korean barbecue here. We went to Quarters Barbecue, and I do remember a few things, like being that we didn't really plan it out too well. When we got there, there was an hour wait for the barbecue joint, and there was the 3 of us, so we were trying to get in, and Quarters is kind of located in this, like, not strip mall, but like a plaza type mall, where there's multiple type of restaurants. I mean, we were waiting at Starbucks for a little while before we could get in. There was a kind of little arcade with a like stationery store attached to it that we were looking at. We waited quite a bit. You have to put your number down, and then they text you, and then you go up, and then once you get there, it's called quarters because you order everything by the quarter pound. The food was amazing. So they changed the grills out depending on what type of meat you ordered. So like we ordered, I believe it was the brisket, and they give you a different grill. They take the grill off and they give you that like a different grill, and it's the first thing that you cook. You do that, and then once that's done, they swap out the grill for a more traditional looking grill so that they could put the rest of the meat on there. And everything was like really high quality. The meat was delicious. I'm really trying to remember what cut was our favorite, but unfortunately there was one cut that like when we had it, it was just so juicy and so tasty that you didn't need to put any of like the sesame oil or the salt or anything on it. It just tasted so good on its own. I don't think that you could really have a bad time at Quarters. You know, certain meats, they'll actually come out and cook for you. And like I said, you're paying per quarter pound. So every cut that you get, every dish that you get is about a quarter pound worth of meat. I'm sure they probably put a little bit more on there. And it's a real, just good times. The sides were really good. Everything is just set out so nicely in front of you. And it's just such an easy way to kind of get like a great meal. And I totally understand why they were so busy. Now, of course, this is during COVID time, so they have reduced capacity, but that wait and that line was no joke, and they were just slammed. So it was totally worth going to, and if I'm in LA again, that restaurant will be a place that I specifically try to go back to. It's funny, like when I think about how we went to Meat Love, because that's where we're really fond of the drinks they serve there, and the food is really cheap, so, or inexpensive I should say, so we go there for the drinks. But Quarters is definitely a place to go for the food, just the meal. It's, I mean, not that Meat Love had bad meat, it was perfectly fine, everything was acceptable. It's just that Quarters just seemed to be on a whole nother level. Now, that being said, their pricing is on a whole nother level too. So like Meat Love was easy. The four of us that went to Meat Love probably spent a little bit less than what the three of us that went to Quarters spent. So that kind of gives you a guesstimate of how much you should be expecting to spend. But it's totally worth it. And like I said, the next time I'm in LA, I'm definitely going to make the attempt to go back to Quarters. And yeah, that kind of finishes up that night. I'm kind of wondering if the next few videos here are going to have me again doing a video in my quarantine room here in Korea. Hopefully not, but we will find out, and I will see you in the next one.